And how's everybody doing? It took a second for it to click on there, so hopefully we have good reception. I hope everybody's having a fabulous day today. So we live in clown world. Like, this dimension that we're in is just completely devoid of logic and critical thinking and all sorts of shit. I don't know if those of you, like, if you've watched the channel a lot, you know that I recently did a video about a 60-minute segment that was done to sell weight loss drugs. It was literally done to absolutely sell weight loss drugs. And one of the doctors that was there representing the weight loss the company that sells the weight loss drug has now been appointed to the, like, she's out and out on the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and Department of Agriculture's 2025 Dietary Guidelines Committee. Like, the woman that is responsible, like the woman like that brought us Wegovy and everything like that, like, we live in such a clown world that this woman that claims that obesity is nothing but genetic and can't be solved through willpower is now going to be making nutritional suggestions for the entirety of the population of America. That's how much of a clown world we fucking live in. I'm going to say hi to everybody, and then we're going to elaborate. We're going to talk about it. We're going to read about it. Fucking crazy. Tasia, how you doing? Erica, /Tukin, Stella, what's going on? Cactus Patch, how are you? Janet, how are you? Sabrina, Miss Boss, Angel, Amelia, Darth Bunny, I love that. Cookies, Fox, how are you? Stephen Barnes, Jet Batman, Lady Hawk, Suvi, Adele, Brew Hops, Heather, Dad Physique, how the fuck are you doing? And least interesting woman in the world, James and Prince JW. What's up, motherfuckers? How's everybody doing? Yeah, remember, it's the food. It's the food. I mean, it's just fucking crazy to me that we are not gonna. Caitlin Gibson, how are you? Pleasure to see you. Rebecca. Hey, Alan. Now they've decided everyone needs one beer, one shot booster. Just fucking crazy. It's just fucking crazy. That's, to me, that's the biggest thing. It's a conflict of interest. Okay, so let's be real. Like, we're gonna get right to it, just so we can talk later. I might even pull people on the screen, all that shit. But just so people can grasp, this is her. This is this woman. This is Fatima Cody Stanford, and she is saying, thanks to the USDA, Department of Agriculture, and the Health and Human Services for naming me to the 2025 Dietary Guidelines Advisory Committee, the importance of diverse prospects in shaping the nutrition and health. I'm fucking flabbergasted because this is also her. Like, just so this is an open admission, right? Like, this is from. That's her right here, right? And this is from 60 Minutes about her.
Doctors Apovian and Stanford have.
This is Dr. Stanford.
Been advising companies developing drugs for obesity.
So they are advising these companies, I'm sure for monetary compensation, by the way, for drugs on obesity. So the person setting nutritional standards works for a drug company. Like, the person setting nutritional standards that said that it is not like that it is, and we're going to play this clip later, that she's saying that it's all genetic. Like, if it's all genetic, what the fuck why do we have food? Why do we have nutritional advisories if it's all genetic? What the fuck? I mean, but listen.
Including the Danish company Novo Nordisk, an advertiser on this broadcast.
So, in other words, these two ladies, once again, to point this out,
of a person's weight, and it helps keep it off.
A major issue where
Doctors Apovian and Stanford have been advising companies developing drugs for obesity, including the Danish company Novo Nordisk, an advertiser on this broadcast.
That's the fucked up thing. I mean, that's well, I really don't think people are grasping this. The truly fucked up thing is that this woman right here.
An associate professor at Harvard Medical School says common beliefs about obesity are all wrong.
is your turn to get on that scale.
Common beliefs about obesity are all wrong. This is the woman that is setting the nutritional guidelines. She's going to be on the committee to help set nutritional guidelines. Her talking about obesity, but she also is an advisor to drug companies developing obesity medications.
Scale.
And diet shows like The Biggest Loser
You lost 120.
And the Diet Show, The Biggest Loser, is a stupid fucking show. You can check the history of this channel. I've gone over it many times. Fucking complete idiots.
if you diet.
This woman, by the way, this woman is about to be on the committee for nutrition guidance.
Right? For many of us, we can go on a diet, something like The Biggest Loser, right? You go and you restrict people, you make them work
Notice her tone when she's talking about this shit too.
out for 10 hours a day, and then you feed them 500 calories. For most people, they will acutely lose weight.
No, for all people. For all people. Not one human being can work out for 10 hours a day and be on 500 calories and not acutely lose weight. Not one human being. Not one. There's not one person on the show. Not one. Not most. All human beings, if you put them on 500 calories and have them work out for 10 hours a day, they're all going to lose a dramatic amount of fucking weight. I mean, it is fucking reality. It is, when they say most, it even brings into the inkling that that's not a reality. You're saying that there are human beings that could work out for 10 hours a day, multiple days in a row on 500 calories and not lose weight. Like, when you even make that kind of statement, science is no longer involved in the conversation. This is all rhetoric.
Weight. But 96% of those participants in The Biggest Loser regained their weight because
Listen to why, because
their brain worked well.
no, it did not. Your brain is not working well if it leaves you in an unhealthy state. If it leads you to actions that cause you to be unhealthy, your brain is not working well. You should get some counseling. For her, like, it is not natural for your body to want to eat enough nutrition to make it so it's immobile and hurt itself. That is not natural. Your brain is not working well. You are in the throes of what would be considered an eating disorder. You physically, your body is getting bigger and smaller due to the calories you're putting in it. Period. Like, how can we believe that these people can gain weight from calories and not lose weight when they don't eat enough? It's so fucking outlandish. It's so fucking crazy.
Was supposed to bring them back to store what they needed or what the brain thinks it needs.
So will
No, it does. What is amazing to me is this woman is talking about set point theory, and then at the same time, she is going to literally talk against set point theory. I mean, it's so fucking crazy.
Willpower, throw that out the window.
Willpower, throw willpower out the window. You're not responsible for yourself at all whatsoever. But let her write your guidelines. This is the type of fucking clown world we live in. Like, this woman's going to be writing nutritional policy. The woman that also makes money from drug companies about obesity, she's going to be giving people nutritional guidance. The woman that says that being fat is not your fault, it is all genetic. Like, listen.
Last patient that I saw today was a young woman who's 39, who struggles with severe obesity. She's been working out 5 to 6 times a week consistently. She's eating very little. Her brain is defending a certain set point.
a set point
If she's been eating very little, she'd be losing a lot of weight. Period. Like, this isn't a debate. Like, this is reality. There's no, like, saying that if you are eating very little food and you're working out that you won't lose weight. If you say that's not, it's just not reality to fucking believe that. If you're not losing weight and working out consistently, you're not eating too little of food. You're eating just the right amount of food to keep your ass at that weight. You're not eating too little. If you're not losing weight, you're not eating too little. Like, ever. What the fuck? Ever. You're eating too much.
point, says Dr. Stanford, is a range of weight your brain is in charge of maintaining by controlling how much food you eat and how much of it you store.
The set point shit is so ridiculous, especially when you consider how radically different the ingestion of different type of food products affects your body and your hunger levels and your hormone response to it. Like, the hormonal response from eating a piece of chuck steak is very different than your body's hormone response from eating, the same calories in sugar. Like the same kind, like if you have a pound of chuck steak that's say, 1,400 calories, if you have a 1,400 calorie piece of like cream pie, your body will react extremely differently on a biological, hormonal, reactionary, digestive process. It'll act completely differently, like 100%. But this woman is saying that it's all genetic.
One theory is that it's an evolutionary survival mechanism that helped retain fat during famines.
But we are not in a famine. We are not in famine, and I'm not disagreeing that it's a biological. We are hardwired to store energy and to seek out more energy. We absolutely are. The problem is we live in a time where it is so incredibly easy to get calories. There's no energy expenditure. There's no buy-in. Like we have people there's no buy-in for you to get your calories pretty much. There's no physical labor connected to it. And that's where our species evolved from. Everybody's got it way too fucking easy. Obesity is a disease of privilege. It's like if you're obese in America, you are privileged. Privileged. Like, believe it.
So we had COVID.
Mhm.
Lots and lots of people gain weight. Do those people have a new set point that's higher now?
Absolutely.
So see, you can change your set point. So I love how she's like, yeah, they do. Yeah, it's higher. Yeah. So that means you're pretty much proving that set point is bullshit. Your body gets used to certain behaviors and actions. So if you can get a new set point, you can get a new lower set point too. None of these people could stand up to debate. None of them. No, it's amazing.
So when you have a chronic stressor and you get to a certain weight and maintain that weight for, let's say, at least 3 to 6 months, then you recalibrate that set point to a different.
So if you can lose weight and keep it off for 3 to 6 months, you should be recalibrated at your new set point, right? So in other words, if you lose weight and then you have set up a healthy lifestyle that keeps you at that weight, it'll become much easier in 3 to 6 months. This I kind of agree with. And it's not necessarily the biology of it. Although many people do, once they get away from eating sugars, they crave them less because they're not having the biological reaction where the body's trained for it. It's just reality. But your body gets used to the habits that have kept the weight off. It's all about habits. I mean, that's the fucking thing. By the way, folks, if you want to help building habits, 30-minute consultation, which gives you the app for a month, 33% off, 3 months of coaching at a massively discounted prices for just the people on this live right here. And then I'll be turning it off probably about 24 hours from now. I mean, this is ridiculous.
Different set point.
I've always heard that it's the fast food, that it's the Diet Cokes, that kind of thing, that is the instigator. Is that true?
So I think we have to look at the different causes of obesity as a big pie. And that's one factor. But notice how I'm using.
Notice how she says that like the other big advertisers, big food, it's just a small factor. Like it's just a teeny tiny factor. The ability to have thousands of calories delivered of almost, nutritionally, sparse foods delivered right to your door for you to consume daily. That's just a small factor. You gluttoning yourself day after day because obesity is daily abuse. It's daily abuse. Like this is fucking ridiculous. This is a vaccine. No, not a vaccine. This is a drug sales rep trying to convince you that the problem is something that they can solve through their drug. What the fucked up thing is their drugs do very similar to what No Morbidity does. I just think No Morbidity is a better choice because it is much less expensive, pays for itself in its own, in the food you save, and is safe and effective. It's, there's not these huge fucking, what ifs when it comes to the side effects. All the items in No Morbidity have been tested for safety on each individual website. You can check them out. Like these things, like you go to Novo Nordisk's website about this shit, and these things list off 45 fucking possible problems to very expensively have for minuscule results, because I still think that 15 to 22% in the course of 68 to 72 weeks is weak sauce. That's some weak shit. It absolutely is. This woman is now going to be on the advisory committee for nutrition.
This part of the pie, right? But the number one cause of obesity is genetics. That means
the number one cause of obesity is genetics. I'd love to see this woman defend this with and I mean fucking any data at all. Like she could not follow this to the second question of why. Like, why is that true? Why do you interpret the data to be true? Because I don't think she could produce the data to say this. I don't believe she could possibly produce this data at all. This is just an open lying statement.
If you are born to parents that have obesity, you have a 50 to 85% likelihood of having the disease yourself, even.
But that's not from genetics. I mean, could it be that some of it like has a genetic pour over, and especially if like it's shown that you're genetically predisposed to possibly be obese if the mother's obese when she has you? Yes, but it's habits too. Like most, like the people that were fat, the parents that were fat initially, however many generations ago, they weren't that way because of genetics. Our genetics have not changed so much in 30 to 40 fucking years that everybody needs to be fat now. That's not how that shit works. And if it is, we should very much. If that is the truth, if the truth is that like that being obese is a genetically dominant trait in the genome of human beings, it means that we need to once again really start thinking about Darwinism, because we like to like it's an argument to not date fat people, if you ask me. Like this is genetically you're predisposed to a bunch of illnesses because you're genetically, if you were genetically predisposed to be fat, why would, like, that's not a good argument to want to live with forever. And it's not because of the looks, it's because the life that's attached. It has nothing to do with aesthetics. It's the life that's attached. Like if you couldn't help it, that you shouldn't complain to people who don't want to have their children. Like if it's something that is negatively affecting you and it's genetics, I mean, I'm sorry, but that's reality. You know, it's bullshit. It's not your genetics. I don't think it is. I think it's a matter of society and people like this woman telling everybody that they don't need to fucking try hard. That's what I'm fucking thinking.
Even with optimal diet, exercise, sleep management, stress management. So when people see families that have obesity, the assumption is, what are they feeding those kids?
Yeah.
They're doing something wrong. Actually,
yeah, they're feeding the kid too much 100% of the time. If the child is morbidly obese and they're not even a teenager yet and the child's morbidly obese, 100% of the time it's the parents' fault. Like they may not realize it, but they're overfeeding the child. They're allowing the child to have too much access to too many calories and ingesting them. It's 100% fucking true every single goddamn time. I'm not saying that they're bad people. I'm not even saying it's neglect. Now, once your child's more, like if you have a 250-pound 12-year-old and you're not doing everything in your power to reduce that, then it's on you. You're like, absolutely, but do something about it. That's for fucking sure. Not what this lady suggests.
do you know this? 79 to 90% of physicians in the United States have significant bias towards individuals that are heavier.
This is also a bullshit study. You know, I mean, just so everybody understands, it goes off the fees and what people feel and all that bullshit. The healthcare industry, to a great degree, has biased against just fucking people. I mean, and I'll wanted to go over this real quick. The healthcare industry is not intrinsically fat phobic. Fat people just engage with the healthcare system at a much higher rate because they are in fact sickly, and they do make up a huge portion of the burden on our healthcare system. People that drink too much, smoke too much, eat too much are the predominant amount of burden upon our system financially and resource-wise. It takes more people to care for a fat person than it does a lean person. These are just like realities. Like it's not even a questionable thing at all whatsoever. To think that it's just because like your doctor only talks to you like, well, every time I'm in there, they mention I should lose weight. That's because you're fat as fuck and you should lose weight. Like if you have back problems, being smaller, if you're fat as fuck, will help out. If you have knee problems, it will help out. If you have breathing problems, it will help out. If you want to avoid diabetes, it'll help out. If you want to get out of a state of constant inflammation, it'll help out. Obesity has been shown to have negative cognitive effects on longevity, decision-making. If you eat a lot of ultra-processed foods, which most morbidly obese people do, it has a deleterious effect on your executive function. It's self-control, perseverance, starting and initiating tasks, sticking to them, like self-image. Like there's a lot of things that are the reason why your doctor should tell you every single time they see you, if you're fat, to lose weight. If you do go to a doctor and for some reason they don't tell you to lose weight when you are fat as fuck, get a new doctor, because that one is negligent. Like if you are a fat person and you go to a doctor and they ignore your fatness and you know it's a problem, like deep down, like you may not want to admit it, you don't want yourself weighed because of what it says to you, because you need serious fucking therapy. If you go to a doctor's office and you can't stand for them to weigh you because for some reason you have convinced yourself it's not medically relevant, you need serious psychological counseling, like just to an incredible degree. But it's not intrinsically fat phobic. The healthcare system just gives shitty results. Our healthcare system is pharmaceutical first and everything else second. Pharmaceutical, surgical, everything else second. There's no prevention at all. And it doesn't help out that when people talk to fat people about preventative medicine, that they can get in trouble because of the scores that are given. Like for a doctor to get some sort of score that could affect their fucking reimbursement levels and their employment later on, about like if the patient liked what they heard. Like who likes what the hearing that like you've lifestyled yourself into a fucking shitty health? Nobody's going to like hearing that. Like, but it doesn't make it any less the responsibility of the doctor to tell that person or that person to fucking listen. At some point in time, we have to get over this whole crazy idea that, the world's against fat people, and realize that fat people, in fact, are the most privileged people. Like American fat people are the most privileged people on the planet. Like to a great degree, especially because we live in a world right now where if you try to have them face their reality at all, you're seen as some kind of evil. But the healthcare industry is not intrinsically fat phobic. The healthcare industry just kind of fucking sucks for everybody. It's a massive, humongous death toll on its own is medical error. Humongous, yearly, huge death toll. It's got its own huge problems. And because fat people engage with the healthcare system more often, they tend to have more interactions like that. But you can't, like I've been fat at the doctor, thin at the doctor, in perfect shape at the doctor, and out of shape at the doctor. And each time I try to make sure that the doctor explains shit to me thoroughly so I understand it. So I have, good informed consent, but also like I follow up on what they say, and I look shit up on my own. Like the problem is we have people wanting to deny that being fat is fucking bad for them, and they don't give a fuck. They just don't want to be told that they're in any kind of physical jeopardy, even by their own fucking doctor. And it's pathetic. It's crazy. But this woman.
Now, doctors listening to me may say, oh, it's not me. Hold your horses, because has that patient come to you and told you?
Notice how like she has stated, it's not your fault. Willpower, fuck that shit. That's gone. Don't worry about that. She said a little earlier that people in this very interview. Oh, I don't have the interview up. Here we go. Sorry about that.
Of physicians in the United States have significant bias towards individuals that are heavier. Now, doctors listening to me.
So basically, they're trying to fucking, it's not your fault that you're fat. And if your doctor tells you that there's a problem, they're fat phobic. Talk to them about this medication. You need this medication to lose weight. And the medication, as we have shown multiple times, their medication works very similar to how no morbidity works. It makes it so you are less hungry. So if it's genetic and it's not about the amount of food they're eating, why is giving them something that's going to make them less hungry the cure? Like this woman is like literally by pimping this drug that makes people eat less, which again is very similar to how our supplement no morbidity works, except ours works on blocking the mechanism of hunger, where this one works on negating the mechanism of hunger. And those are just reality. That and ours is proven safe and effective, and theirs is not. I can clearly tell you that this woman is full of shit, because she said it's genetic. It's not about the food. She could be eating right and doing everything possible and still not losing weight. And then she pimps this drug, which in effect just makes you eat less. That's what the drug does. That's what this woman, who is now working to set the fucking parameters for healthcare, nutrition. She's actually on that committee now. We live in clown world, absolute clown world. Nicole, I started taking Ember. It's working great. That is great to hear. Nicole, if you start having questions, anything like that, anything you want me to hit, talk about it in the chat here. We're gonna move on. I'm amazed, people, like literally, openly, just fucking full on amazed that shit's real. I can't even get over it. Like, I know we live in clown world. It's coming up on 3 years of I told you so's, you know. But we live in like it just keeps getting worse. Well, why are people not asking questions? This shit just keeps piling up. Like everybody laughed when this woman was talking about like how obesity is not a thing. We laughed our way all the way into like not paying attention that this woman's being appointed to fucking sit on the committee about nutritional suggestions. This woman thinks that being obese is not a matter of what they eat, unless it's that they buy her medication that she is monetarily tied to lose weight. And now she's going to be telling people how much to eat. What the fuck? How like people don't see the massive, and I mean massive fucking conflict of interest with this. This is a clown show. This is a clown world. That this person is going to be sitting on that board. Insanity. People think they ate healthy, but they had a salad at a restaurant covered in. Yep. Problem is nowadays being different is seen as being crazy, and being crazy is seen as being different. That's kind of true also. They blame anything they can for their obesity and never themselves. Zero accountability. It's kind of crazy to me. I mean, this really is. It's kind of nuts. I don't even understand where we're at with it. I did just get the person that just bought a consultation, which they use this link right here, or you can get coaching. I'll send you the link after we're done talking here. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm an EMT and worked in the hospital. Got accused of fat shaming last week because I had an XL blood pressure cuff on a woman, barely got around her forearm, and yet that's my fault apparently. It's like that's the thing. Like, how are we supposed to function like this? Like, you're supposed to like be able to make this shit magically work? Like, you're too big for a regular fucking pressure cuff. If you wouldn't have had the larger one, she would have bitched about that too. Insane. I was just thinking everything just keeps getting worse. Like, I don't understand how we're not openly just asking questions and follow-up questions. Like, it just goes to show, oh, this is awesome. On day 3 of NOMO, skipping lunch today and not even hungry. That's outstanding, Michael Blacktree, outstanding. But it just goes to show that like nobody's willing to ask the actual follow-up questions. Like I could bury this woman in her tracks in 3 steps. Right. So you say that there are some people that can't lose weight no matter how little they eat. Yes. Will your drug help them? Yes. How will it get them to help them? By getting them to eat less. We're done. We're absolutely done. Don't get me wrong. Do these drugs help people eat less? They apparently do. I still think that the fucking natural alternative is a little better because I just believe we're the natural alternative where you don't have to worry about, thyroid tumors and fucking suicidal ideation and shit like that. Fucking crazy. Helps relieve stress. The other one leaves you stressed, in lots of fucking ways. But I mean, we're not asking the questions. Like public health officials, like, I would love to sit down with one of them. Let's walk through the entire pandemic and why you guys chose the things you chose. Because at some point in time, they should have to answer to this. At some point in time, somebody should have to tell me why we sent college kids home when that looked like a dispersal agent to me. Like, if it was truly like this unknown, so deadly virus, why would we put college kids on all sort, on the highways and on planes to back to their home locations? When they instead of keeping them around the people they've been around for 3 to 6 months, why would we not shelter them in place? Like until we get answers to questions, we should just assume they're all fucking lying. It's insane. I have to tell myself to eat. That's right, motherfuckers. It's that effective. No morbidity is that effective for real. They want their easy solution when they don't want to change. Exactly, Erica. 100%. Alan, today is really hard. I've got food on my mind and really felt the cravings coming. Have you any advice? I'm sitting at home with little to do for an hour. Drink as much water as you can right now to make sure you're hydrated really, really well. And I mean, if your next meal, I don't know when your next meal is. I would definitely possibly even bump your next meal up an hour if you're still hungry after the fluid. This is like, it should never be an exercise in making yourself overly hungry. It should just be an exercise in trying to eat as little as possible and be as satiated as possible on it, and enjoy it and stuff like that. So, but whenever you're feeling extra hungry, I would always check your hydration levels first. Always, 100%. I used to think I was destined to be fat, but my little experience of going to the gym every day and taking pictures of my food proved me wrong. My Whitling scale shows my steadily going down. That is awesome. Very awesome. How much cardio is too much cardio when trying to build some muscle mass? Depends on the person, your nutrition, who you are, what type of cardio, massive amounts of things. I mean, it's like everybody is very individualized. This would depend upon the intensity level, the amount of time, how often you do it. Like, I mean, there's just so many variables in this for me to spit out a fucking time, especially because this like muscle mass is age driven, food driven, hormone driven, what other activity you're driven. Like, some people can build muscle when they train for marathons. Other people cannot. So that's an impossible question to answer, to tell you the truth. I see blood pressure cuffs have to be used near the ankle. Oftentimes, yes, for people that big. Cardio can actually be very beneficial for high intensity activities such as heavy lifting and exercise. Yep, indeed. Indeed. Dad Physique, thank you very much. I appreciate you, motherfucker. Lots of 300 to 400 pound people come around to the hospital where I work at in Kentucky. That's tough. That's a big fucking person right there. Will no morbidity help with cravings? It diminishes the amount of hunger. If you have sugar cravings, that's not really necessarily what it's going to help for, especially if you're still eating sugar items. Like if you eat something sugary and it causes you to have a glycemic response to it, our second product coming along, product 2, will likely help you. But product 1, no morbidity. No morbidity blocks the actual mechanism of hunger, so you don't get hungry and you get fuller easier. When you're talking cravings can be anything emotional, physical, those sorts of things. So not really. I do deal with my cravings a little easier when I'm not hungry, but it still doesn't stop them. No. Assuming the diet is mostly okay, what 3 supplements would you recommend? Assuming the diet is mostly okay, I would still recommend a vitamin D supplement. Almost nobody gets enough vitamin D, and we're very, 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 very vitamin D deficient. I would do 5 to 10,000 IUs extra a day, every day, even on top of your nutrition. For me, like if you're talking me or talking generalized population, I would also then take like some sort of anti-inflammatory. I would take like berberine and or black seed oil along with those. And then now that I've got blood sugar regulation, inflammation, and immunity, I would still probably take something like some sort of multi, just to make sure. Because you never want to trust the food necessarily. Like I am very health oriented when it comes to my supplementation. I really don't like what's necessary and what's extra is a very small line to me. Necessary for a while is still like me being on no morbidity and product 2 for a while to help still control my hunger. I come off of it, for weeks at a time just to make sure that I still have good habits built in. But I think that for a lot of people, they view it as like you need these supplements. I would do all preventative and health model ones. And I would answer that 10 out of 10 that way. Yeah, I used to think my obesity was due to genetics. Society it's a societal gaslighting thing. I eat when I'm hungry always. If you eat healthy, you'll be fine. Depends. Eating healthy can still be too many calories. Does no morbidity take a few days to see effect? I just got my bottle and I'm excited. It normally takes 3 or 4 days for me to notice the food effects, but the stress relief effects happen fairly quickly. Any specific vitamin D brands that you recommend? I go with Mark's vitamin Vega D from MTS Nutrition. It's so annoying to have an eating disorder because it's literally just food. It's the food that's the problem. That's very true. And Sarah, I did see that. I'll send you a link here shortly. I found that I often, when craving something like chocolate, it's usually deficiency in chromium. That chromium, magnesium, no more helps my late night cravings. That's outstanding, out fucking standing. Have I reviewed the new food pyramid in one of my streams? I did. I went. You can go back. It's a joke at this stage. I mean, I think that and you, Rick's like I've seen you on here for a while. It's a joke at this stage. Like the food pyramid in general, the USDA is not trying to have healthy people. Nothing about it can possibly make me think that they're trying to have healthy people at all. Not the old food pyramid, not the new food pyramid, not this decision for this lady to help write nothing. If you look up the fucking vitamin D recommended daily allowance, it's super fucking low, like super fucking low. Get sun for vitamin D unless it's winter, then take supplements. The vast majority of the population does not get enough sun, even if they go out in the sun, for the most part on a consistent level basis. Like people that live in cloudier climates such as Pittsburgh and stuff like that should take vitamin D all year round. And even people that live in Florida during the winter should take vitamin D supplementation. Depending upon it, just from the sun is not a viable thing for most people in our world today. Should it be? Yes. Is it? No, absolutely not. Everybody should supplement vitamin D. Everybody should. I stopped driving to the gym and take the bus so I can get more steps in. That's good for you. Good for you. A drug is not going to change what they eat, just the amount. They must realize that. I completely agree, 100%. Morning, little monster. How are you doing? What about fasting? What about fasting? What do you want to know about it? My waist to the height ratio is now under 0.5. Great job, Jet Batman. Great fucking job. Took me about 3 days to feel no hunger effects. Yeah, that's about right for me too. Somewhere in there. Let's see. What about magnesium supplements? I mean, I would suggest just get it into a good a good fucking multivitamin if it has some. I would, or get a little bit extra if you think you're short on it. Absolutely, a lot of people are. Food pyramid is wrong. Very good. I take 5,000 U's every other day. Good for you. Very good. Very good. Is it okay to eat a lot of canned salmon for vitamin D? I would still think you might want to fucking try a supplementation just in case. I mean, vitamin D is super inexpensive. If we would have supplemented vitamin D at the beginning of 2020 instead of everything else, it could have saved trillions of dollars and fucking tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of lives, that sort of thing. So I don't understand why people would not. But canned salmon is I don't know if it's particularly high in vitamin D, but I mean I eat particularly well, and I still take vitamin D supplementation, and I live in Florida. So sometimes giving in to cravings is the best medicine. Just don't eat as much of a said thing. I wouldn't. Depends on the craving. So. How often should fasting be used, or is it even necessary? Depends on the person. I fast every day. I haven't eaten yet today. I fast every single day. It works really, really well for me. For some people, they couldn't possibly eat how I eat. It depends on it absolutely depends upon the person. And how often should it be used? That again, literally depends upon the person. I often wonder if you can overdo vitamin D since it is fat soluble. Currently taking in 50 to 20 K a day because of Pennsylvania winter. I think you'd have to take a lot, but I would just check on it. How do you feel about cheese? I have cheese every other day or so in portion just to add flavor. That's outstanding. Let's see. I take vitamin D during these cold winter months. Good for you. Good for you. Seta, how are you doing? Always nice when I catch these lives. Thank you very much. I appreciate you, motherfucker. How are you doing? This summer I can spend the entire day in the sun, not much in the winter. I agree. Any opinions on vegetable cocktail? I find having 1 cup of a meal so much with overeating, and it's only 60 calories V8, for example. If you like it, that's great. I wouldn't necessarily use it as a definitive way to, trick your body, because eventually you'll get sick of the trick. But if you like it and are ingesting it, absolutely. You know, I mean, I would keep taking it in. Just watch the processing on it and the sodium levels, that sort of thing, you know? I find it challenging to eat enough protein. That's always a hurdle. For a lot of people, it is. I mean, it depends on how many carbohydrates you're eating, too. You know, I would definitely watch out. I'm going to start my mobility when I finished breastfeeding. Good for you. Please wait till you're done breastfeeding. Please, please, please wait. I try to say that for everybody. You do not need, like, only take what your doctor tells you can take when you're breastfeeding, when you're pregnant, when you're about to get pregnant, those sorts of things. So please do be mindful of it. Give me 1 second here. There we go. Yeah, okay. I sent that out to a person. All right, boom, boom, boom. Doctor told me to stay out of the sun because I'm prone to skin cancer due to my freckles. Then tells me how low in vitamin D. Shocker. I mean, I can understand where they're coming from, but it's massively important. Like vitamin D is massively, massively important. Who's being delusional today? Pretty much everybody. The people that appointed some lady. I mean, this woman has literally works for drug companies, and she's going to be in charge of the new dietary things. It's so fucking, like, it is just a massive conflict of interest, a massive one. Let's see. I was surprised at how much protein is in only around 300 grams of frozen chicken breasts. Did a clip saying 1 out of every 10 food products isn't even the food it claimed to be. Scary stuff. Yeah, that's crazy. That is some crazy shit. The bottom of the new food pyramid is the base of my diet. I've never felt better. I mean, it's so weird listening to them like tell people that they shouldn't eat ground beef and shit like that and other stuff on top of it. I mean, it's such a clown world. Like, it just is. We live in such a ridiculous state of society where these people think that for some reason it's you shouldn't take, you know, you should stay more on the side of fucking like eating processed foods. And then, like, I don't understand how this lady fits in. Like, if she's like selling obesity drugs and now she's going to be helping people decide what to eat. Like, that doesn't strike anybody as a very serious conflict of interest. Like, she works for the company that solves, like, that when people get fat, she works for a company that offers a, like, this is no shit. It would be a conflict of interest with me being partners in No Morbidity. It would be a conflict of interest for me to be appointed to that position. I make a fucking product designed around helping people deal with eating too much. It would be a complete conflict of interest for me to sit on that board. A complete conflict of interest. This woman works for a drug company, and yet she's on the board. Crazy. I think the new food pyramid was written by a teenager. Possibly. Very possibly. All right, so any questions you guys got, let me know. Let's hit them up. Let's get it going. I'm going to, I'm going to do some videos here in a little bit, get some dinner ready. I think it was written by a lobbyist. Probably, very much. I can very much believe that it was written by a lobbyist. With how ridiculous this shit is anymore, absolutely, 100%. I mean, at no point in time can people have convinced me otherwise. This woman is literally talking about how being fat is genetic. It's not your fault. Here's our product to get you to eat less. It's so fucked up. It's so, like, when the premise of the product works very much on the premise that No Morbidity works. You know, that we'll just make you less hungry, therefore you'll be able to build healthier lifestyle habits and you'll lose weight because you are in fact less hungry. It's literally the same process or the same premise, except safe and effective, natural ingredients, pharmaceutical drug. You know, $39.99 a month, $1,300 a month. I know what I'd pick. Does it have any negative interaction with metformin? Not that it has been shown. However, if you are on any medication, before you add any supplement to your nutrition, even if you radically change your nutrition, if you are on any type of drug for blood sugar regulation, you should talk to your doctor, the prescribing doctor that gave you metformin. We have not had anybody say it interacts in any way. I would try to say that I would be very careful about taking metformin and things like anything with berberine in it, like our second product too, because it also works on the same mechanism of blood sugar regulation. And berberine has been shown to be even more effective for blood sugar regulation than metformin in head-to-head studies, especially with women with PCOS. So I wouldn't take product 2 or anything that had berberine in it with metformin. But and if your doctor says it's okay, which you should run past your doctor, we have not had anybody have any problems being on metformin and no morbidity. They just need to watch to make sure that they're still eating. So they watch their blood sugar levels. But they would need to be extra cautious anyway because you're on metformin and you should be watching your blood sugar levels. Stuff like this has ruined the film Idiocracy for me. It's too real now. It really is. Way too much. Do you think eating insects or mealworms are a healthy diet? Celebs are pushing it. Nicole Kidman and Iron Man. He looks like he's gonna die at this stage. He looks like very sickly. And who fucking cares what these people say? Why? Because people that pretend to be other people that we pay to pretend to be other people, said these are healthy diets. Why the fuck should that matter to a goddamn person? I mean, that should not matter. The problem, and I'm not dogging you, but the problem is people fucking buy what these people are selling just because they're famous. Who gives a fuck what they say? I mean, do I think people could eat mealworms and stuff like that and have it be healthy? I would imagine. It's protein's protein. In true survival situations, beggars can't be choosy. Would I choose to eat worms and insects? No. Am I going to by choice? No. Do I think it's stupid and just a fucking another woke propagandist bullshit pushing point? Yep. But do I think about it? I think it's a fucking fad that these people probably are getting paid for and have being monetarily compensated for, and all sorts of other shit. Do I think it's stupid? I think it's stupid, but I think people that give a fuck whether Nicole Kidman or Iron Man are taking this shit is just as fucking stupid. If you do shit because you think if you do shit because a person who you like solely for the fact that you like how they pretend being other people, if you do it because of that, you should fucking get checked too. Society's not been nice to you. Have you worked with people with food aversion, maybe a sensory issue with certain foods? Yes, we have multiple times. This falls into a lot of people that have that are slightly on the spectrum, and or people that have different types of eating disorders that are based around texture and stuff like that. We've worked with multiple times. So Michelle, I just gave the link out there. So absolutely, and if you know of somebody, pass it on, please. I do agree, but much cheaper than fresh chicken. The one I took, you're talking to somebody else. Okay. Does product 2 have stimulants? Nope. Product 2 is also non-stimulant, non-thermogenic. Those celebs are pushing that stuff to us plebs. You can bet that they will keep eating lobsters. That's the fucking thing. Anybody that thinks that they're going to, these people fly around in fucking jets to places and then say that they're there for climate change, all blah, 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 all that bullshit. All that bullshit. I get that the goal for these companies is to make money, but people are dropping left and right with pharmaceutical and surgical intervention due to not changing lifestyle. It's just wild. And again, it's lifestyle is the fucking key, because I'm telling you this right now. I mean, when you think about the 25% of everything approved by the FDA gets recalled for being dangerous. When you think about the healthcare industry has its own death toll that's rather high. It's like the 3rd leading cause of death in the United States. It's not small at all. Thank you. Feeding crickets to children is first step. Thankfully, Australian. Thank Australian for normalization of bugs as legitimate food source. I mean, I'm not saying it's not a legitimate food source. I'm saying I won't fucking do it. I'm not unless I fucking have to. I mean, literally, unless I fucking have to, out in survival. Is there over-counter vitamin C at every grocery store? Celebrities are adults who make a living pretending to be other people. They aren't anyone to idolize. Exactly. I say it all the fucking time. Will you ever get a video about RD Jr. and his diet diet advice changes about RD Jr. Who the fuck are you talking about? I don't even know who you're talking about, RD Jr. I have no idea. They need to shut up and entertain me. Exactly. Exactly. If there's ever a famine where food was hard to come by, I'd take up hunting before I'd eat bugs. Me too. Me too. 100%. 100%. And again, said, I'm wondering who RD Jr. is. Bugs carry small parasites when ingested. Yeah, I mean, that's Robert Downey Jr. Oh, no. He went vegan. So why? He went vegan and crazy, and he's not getting enough food. He looks horrible. He looks absolutely horrible. I think people forget that you eat a lot of things we generally throw away. For example, carrot tots and beet greens are totally edible and delicious. I mean, fucking amazingly delicious, by the way. Very, very, very good. Yeah, but Robert Downey Jr. No. He does. He looks worse than when he was on drugs. I mean, and I'm not saying it's because he's vegan. I'm saying it's because he's fucking. I mean, he's a rich fucking actor. Like, why? It amazes me that we think these people we have just propped these people up to such a position of like authority and shit like that. They're fucking most of the time very fucked up people. I mean, most of the time they're very fucked up mentally, emotionally. They're super fucked up. Imagine working in an environment where historically is nothing except for fucking deviance and fucking, sexual aggression and shit like that. Like how we have lofted these people to think that they're super fucking amazing and popular is ridiculous to me. All of these people, if we like, just for reference, the people that are in power in mainstream music, in mainstream media, and in Hollywood have been in power for like the last 30 or 40 years. They didn't cycle through. Like before that, it was like people would get famous and then they would cycle through for the next famous person, for the next famous person, for the next famous person. Now the mainstays have been holding this shit down for quite a while, right? I mean, when you think about even the men and women that have been in the leading men and women of Hollywood for the last couple of decades, it's the same names. And a lot of the names that like you don't see acting anymore, it's because they're producing all the movies. So the people that are in power in Hollywood have been the people that are in power in Hollywood for decades. It's amazing to me. It is truly amazing to me that right now Hollywood is screaming about culture and how horrible American culture is when Hollywood helps literally fucking create and curate culture in our society. Like we live in a society where we know that these people are deviants. These people they all knew about like Weinstein and shit like that. They all knew about Epstein and shit like that. They knew that, I mean, the term casting couch has been a fucking joked about term for decades in Hollywood. Like we know that these people are sexually deviant, people having to like do sexual favors to get parts and shit like that. And a lot of it is these same people that are literally running Hollywood right now. Like these people are all of a sudden the people that are, speaking on culture. They're the ones making decisions on who should be canceled, making decisions on who is a good person. These are the people that are fucking speaking on culture as if they didn't help create this shit. As if for the last 30 or 40 years, it all happened around them. As if they're not, this Hollywood and music hasn't been like the leading factors that's developed this culture. If there's such a problem with the culture in America, these are the people that are complaining the most about it are the people to fucking blame about it. Us lofting these people up to positions where we think that they think that they have authority and we give them social authority over people is in fact crazy when these people are the ones that, if you're wondering why, like it sounds like music is violent and misogynistic, these people are the ones that push that type of fucking music in mainstream music for a long fucking time. If you're wondering why, like right now, like I have no idea. I have no idea why the LGBT community got like they brought it out as if they were being oppressed, when a huge portion of fucking Hollywood is gay and has been gay for fucking decades. Like this has been settled. Like we've known about this for a long time. Who the fuck do you think made Elton John popular? Like older people. Like the people complaining about how horrible disparities are the people that would be responsible for this shit, because they are the people that helped form our culture for the last 20 or 30 years, because we've given Hollywood and mainstream media and movies and sports stars and all like that. We have allowed these people, who are the fucking entertainment, by the way. They are literally the fucking entertainment. We have allowed them to be promoted to like actual societal commentator and decision maker. It's literally fucking crazy how people that we know are from completely deviant fucking industries, completely fucking morally bankrupt fucking industries. Like we got Alyssa Milano literally on her Twitter fucking acting like she is like some like fucking angelic figure when she was best friends with Weinstein's wife. You don't know, like this woman grew up in Hollywood. You tell me she didn't fucking know to believe these women? You tell me that Alyssa Milano has never had a friend that's had to give a fucking blowjob for a part or something like that? I refuse to believe this shit. Like when she was so close to all these fucking people that did all these fucking bullshit things, I refuse to believe that she was unaware that women were being taken advantage of to get parts in Hollywood for fucking decades when she grew up in that shit. I refuse to fucking believe it. I give her more credit for being more intelligent than that. I absolutely give her more credit than that. We're fucking talking about like this bullshit. They only push people that meet their fucking narrative that they can fucking use. That's all they fucking do. The same people that have been in charge of mainstream music, country music, rap music, regular music for the last couple decades are all the fucking same people. That's why you're hearing all the fucking same shit. That's why you don't see any independent artists being invited to the fucking CMAs or invited to the awards for like rap music or awards for fucking regular music or for rock music. That's why you don't see any independent artists, even though for the last 3 or 4 years, independent artists have topped the charts in multiple facets many fucking times. They don't get mentioned because we live in this dichotomous nature where we promoted these fucking people who sing and dance and fucking entertain us. They play games for our fucking entertainment. We have somehow lofted them to the position where they can tell us how we should live our motherfucking lives. Most of these people, you would never even fucking know who they were if they could sing a fucking note, repeat lines convincingly as somebody else into a fucking camera, or play a fucking sport. You wouldn't know who any of these fucking people are if they didn't have one of those very fucking fixed talents that do not really impact the positivity of the world at all. If they weren't good at pretending to be somebody else, weren't good singing singing fucking songs. Most of the times they didn't fucking write themselves, or they weren't good at playing a sport. A huge portion of the people that we consider super fucking popular or super fucking trendsetters or people we need to listen to about all sorts of actual real life fucking issues, if it wasn't for one of those 3 things, most of these people would not know fucking shit from shit. Most of these people would not even ever be fucking listened to, because most of these people do not fucking merit even any type of fucking like they're not in reality. They're just reading from fucking teleprompters, just like the president of the United fucking States. These people are not in it to try to fucking help their fucking following. They're not in it to try to help the fucking, the people. They're not trying to in it to fucking help the industry. They're not trying to in it to help the fucking anything but their motherfucking bank accounts and to stay popular. That's it. That is 100% it. It is about social messaging. 100%. And we're listening to these people as if they're fucking somebodies. Like, I mean, somehow, like the actual person saying shit has become more important than the shit they fucking say in our society. The truth could be said by a 6-year-old picking their fucking nose. It's still going to be 100% true. The delivery of the truth does not fucking matter. The truth is 100% the fucking truth. The truth does not need background lighting, theme music, and production. The truth can be spoken, and it stands on its merits as truthful. It does not need to be sold because it can be proven. That was the problem with all this. All these people selling a fucking ideal about what you should look like, selling an ideal about who you should fucking vote for, selling an ideal about what is appropriate language or not for people to fucking have. These fucking idiots, like Pink has now done a fucking ad for Pfizer. Pink, Miss Rockstar, Miss fucking raging fucking against against all of societal norms. Pink is now a fucking Pfizer advert. Latifah, Queen Latifah, one of my favorite all-time rappers, total fucking sellout. The Kardashians, we've known they're sellout. Fucking, they're literally famous because Mama decided which porn tape to fucking leak to get fucking Kimberly popular, so everybody could fucking become popular. And then they literally rode on the ass of their daughter being banged, and they all rode to fame. These are the people that are considered famous, and then they're gonna fucking sit back and judge. Like they're gonna fucking look at people and be like, oh well, I decided to do this. Motherfuckers, shut the fuck up. I mean, what the fuck's wrong with you people? These people are fucking ridiculous. Every single fucking one of them. Who gives a fuck? Entertain. Shut the fuck up. You don't need to listen to me. You shouldn't want to fucking listen to them either, though. I mean, these people are just fucking like, you should not need to be told that something is safe and effective by a fucking actor before you fucking take it. They should be able to show you the fucking data that says it's safe and effective. And they should show you the reasoning why you should fucking take it. If they can't prove to me why that there's even danger enough for me to fucking even be worried about it, if we can't get there, why the fuck should I think about taking something that has unknown risk for something I'm not afraid of? It's stupid. Moronic. And this is the shit these people are selling because they're stupid and moronic and owned. They are owned. If you know a person that is still in the la la land of believing that these jabs were not they were not rushed and at least harmful. If you still know anybody in your life that is not like looking at this like, what the fuck did I do? What the fuck did I inject in myself? Understand that they're probably lost. They're listening to too much of this fucking rhetoric. They're way too involved in giving a fuck about what any of these fucking people say. These are people. They're just fucking people. Like this celebrity said this. Who gives a fuck? Like for a while there, Matthew McConaughey was like getting interviews with fucking Fauci and shit like that. Who fucking cares what Matthew McConaughey says about a fuck thing? Who fucking cares? When you can come with me with data and facts and shit like that, I don't care who the fuck you are. We'll talk. But who gives a fuck if these people lie about bullshit? They're lying. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Most of these people, like their lives are, they don't even understand your life. It's fucking crazy. Crazy shit. Anyway, it's a clown world. It is a clown world. You can eat till you're full, just don't eat bad food. It depends on what your definition of full is. So. Chuck D of Public Enemy sold out too. Isn't that fucking something? Like, isn't that not fucking something? Like all these fucking people that have been in mainstream music and shit like that for fucking decades. The people that got real rich when it first like fucking broke out, like MTV first came out and shit like that. The people that got real rich and they all of a sudden they're the ones that owned all the fucking record studios and shit like that now. And they're super fucking rich and they're controlling what music you get to fucking hear. That's why it all sounds like produced garbage. It just sounds like the same fucking thing produced a different fucking way. Like like what's the next catchy female song where the girl talks about how fat her pussy is and how fucking awesome she looks bent over? Like what? We're supposedly somehow we both live in a time where women are empowered, and then we're still talking about like, you can't even turn on TikTok with these fucking all the fucking like dance like little fucking gimmicks that everybody does, shaking ass. It's fucking craziness because of people like the fucking Kardashians, of people like every fucking mainstream fucking hooker. I mean, I'm sorry, but like I watch these movies, I'm like thinking like, well, you know, they fucking did something to be popular and get in this role. It's fucking sadness. Fucking sadness. Truly is. It's absolutely absurd and a huge conflict of interest that she is able to do this. It really is. Very fucking wrong. I learned yesterday that Kylie Jenner tried to sue Kylie Minogue to stop her using her name. Fucking unreal. Like, these people, I mean, it's so fucking crazy. That is just fucking crazy. I don't even know what to say about that. In his early career, Tom Hanks starred in a D&D Moral Panic movie. Guy is on the highest pedestal, just a celebrity who always pushed whatever message is paid for. I mean, he was on Bosom Buddies. He was on so many fucking things, you know. But the fucking Tom Hanks is also like, people need to like, he's on a certain fucking list too. Like all of them, most of them are. You have some seriously valuable information that I really needed. Thanks. You're very fucking welcome. Very welcome. Yes, evidently, female empowerment is about being sexually appealing to men. It's amazing. It's so fucking crazy. They also are acting like these, like Cardi B and all these people, like they're not Little Kim, like 3.0 ripoffs. Like Little Kim and Foxy Brown said way more fucking outrageous shit, and were better rappers the entire fucking time too. Exactly. It's scary how many people can't think for themselves. It really is. It baffles me when women say they not want to be sexualized when they are the ones. It's so fucking mind-numbing sometimes. I can't even get like I wish people could start getting like there, kind of, sort of like. Yep, I completely agree with this. 100%. Salt and Pepper, like so many like acts from before. Like, it's amazing that these people don't recognize it. But I do got to say, like, we're very much in there. Like, you see how sometimes these fucking movie stars and like sports stars, how they're fucking treated. Just remember, like, I'm not saying not to like support them, support your local artists, support support people, you know, like in their endeavors. Like, fuck, buy my books. Then buy the fucking book. Buy the fucking supplement. It'll help you. It saves money. $39.99 a month. Most people report back in saving hundreds of dollars on their food bill a month just from this product. Safe and effective, will help you gain control of your lifestyle. You can get it at Vitamin Shop. You can get it at Tiger Fitness. You can get it at Ambrosia Collective. Soon to be many other places, not just Vitamin Shop, around the country. Because we're fucking going, you know? You can join the app. The links are being posted in the comments section right now. You can join my app or mine and my wife's app. You can get live and pre-recorded classes that Crystal teaches. She just taught a strength fusion class here. She got Tabata later on. Or you can get a 30-minute consultation. These are all discounted prices just for you guys, but what the fuck? I mean, let's see here. I paid you $5, but I got about 8 times that in useful info. Thank you so much. You're very welcome. I appreciate you. Can you imagine a person entering into the gravitational field of a fat person? Okay. You're in Vitamin Shop. Yeah, we are in Vitamin Shop. The pretty much all throughout the country or world, wherever Vitamin Shop is at, and we have other places we're going to be in too soon. Very excited. Still to meet a woman who doesn't have some trauma and doesn't like being sexual. I don't know. I'm not sure. Anyway, I've been on over an hour, guys. I'll be on here a little bit, possibly even a little later, but definitely tomorrow, 1 p.m. I hope everybody has a great goddamn day. Goddamn.